and running. I am just checking all the things. So, hi.
Are you recording?
Um, I am not recording, but everybody knows that now. That's what I do. Hello, everybody. We're just getting all set up and so happy to be here this beautiful Wednesday. Yay. Welcome back to the WonderMama Coffee Chat in our first gathering here in 2026. So, if you're a woman who appears to have it all together, you're a leader in your world, and you have a steady presence in your family, but sometimes inside you feel maybe a little tired or disconnected. You've been following all the rules and doing all the things, and quietly wondering if maybe there's more for me, or am I just the best dressed ghost in my life? This year in the Wonder Mama Coffee Chats, we're here to remind you that yes, there is more for you. Every Wednesday at noon Eastern, we are bringing you thoughtful conversations, high level insights, and practical perspectives from coaches and thought leaders who respect your time and the full life you're carrying. Today's conversation will speak to something that all of us carry very deeply. We make complex decisions every day. We lead teams, we manage households, and when it comes to our own bodies, the very vessel that allows us to do many things, we feel like we're failing. We're exhausted from the cycle of starting over every Monday and feeling depleted. So, joining us today is Mo Cooper. Mo helps women step out of the diet culture and away from willpower driven approaches. She knows you're already using all of your willpower to run your life. Instead, she teaches simple, structured way of eating and living that supports metabolism and brings peace back to the plate. She's here to help us release mental load or food guilt and remember that our best health is closer than we think. We'll be live here on Facebook while Mo shares her perspectives and tools. And then we'll move into the Wonder Mama community for a private, intimate Q&A where our members can continue the conversation. So, welcome, Mo.
Hello. I don't know what everyone's seeing, so I was trying to pull it up on Facebook, but we're just gonna roll with it because that's the best way to do just about anything. There are no hiccups in life, just interesting pivots. So where are we gonna start?
I think we're just going to start. Joining us today is Mo
Okay.
Cooper. We're just going to go. Tell us a little bit, Mo. Hold on. I'm doing all the things here.
Yes.
I see that we are live and we've got some people there with us. Um, I have some questions. Do you have just something that you would want to jump in and what do you have to say for the women out here? Or I can actually give you a question.
Sure. Well, I mean, yeah, honest, I'm a mother of three children. My oldest is 32, and my baby just turned 18 on January 1st. And
Mm,
I always say, I'm too young to have a 32-year-old and too old to have an 18-year-old. So, and the one in the middle is the only one that makes sense. But I have, in my 55 years and 32 years of parenting, I have gone through many, many phases and stages of killing myself to get everybody else's needs met. And I'm not, forget low on the list. I don't even make the list. I don't even make the cut. My mother had it in spades, and I took a page from her book because I realized probably in my mid 40s, my mom, we went on family vacations. She was a realtor so she could be home after school. She did all those things, but she also took vacations by herself with my stepfather, with
wow.
girlfriends. She prioritized her health. She was walking every day. She was a forever lifer on Weight Watchers, which is not a great thing, but that's another story. But she
It's
really knew
not.
how to prioritize and put herself first. And it's funny because I some people see that as selfish. No, it's not. It's selfless. That's why she could be the amazing mom to me and my five siblings that she could be. She was widowed at 37, y'all, with six children,
Mhm.
ranging from 13 down to two. I was two. And not I was two. I was 2 years old. I wasn't widowed. But and she taught me that it's so important to, yes, take care of your family, but you know what? There's no shame in taking care of you first, prioritizing you and treating yourself like a most precious loved one because ladies, you are. So why do we put ourselves last? Let me pose the question.
Why do we put ourselves last? Yeah. So last week, Pearl helped us understand, Pearl Chirenza was with us last week, and she helped
Yeah.
us understand that we are all using up our emotional willpower,
Yeah.
just trying to be everyone else's. But Mo, for the women who already are mentally exhausted from her career and family and relying on their diet and willpower, which is a recipe for failure,
It is.
what should we be doing instead?
I'm not here to shit on anyone because it's individual to each person. People think I'm nuts because I get up at 4:10 every morning, but that's because I go work out at 5 a.m. and I like to get my journaling and meditation in before I go. Now, that's not for everyone. So, it's all about time. Your best health, your peace, your well-being is hiding in your calendar. That's why I love your calendar so much.
Ah,
Shameless plug.
thank you.
Because it really prioritizes you first. Y'all, we don't need to exhaust ourselves to care for others. And a lot of times, it's kind of like cleaning someone else's house. It's easier to clean someone else's house because there's no emotional attachment to things than it is to clean your own house. So a lot of us have a lot of heaviness, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally, that we just don't want to deal with because it's just too much. So when we stop focusing on all that heaviness, all the stress, all the things that come up emotionally, and we are emotional creatures. The feminine is the emotion, the male is the driven, and we need that balance for sure. But when we focus on how we're spending our time every day. Don't no not freaking out about what didn't get done, not worried about what's has to happen, but being right here, right now, breathing, calming your body, because when we calm our body, our mind follows suit. And vice versa. When we calm our mind, our body responds. You know how many times a day I have to go, just release because I find myself getting, y'all, I am not a master of stressless behavior. I am a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. And if that's something that you can relate to where you always feel like you're on edge, I totally get it because that is why I've had to take time to find those moments of calm. And so I start each day with calm. Though the alarm goes off, I don't lay in bed and start thinking of all the things I need to do. I start with three gratitudes. Thank you, God, for getting us safely through the night. Thank you, God, that I have working eyes and legs and body. And thank you for this brand new day and whatever it brings. Whatever your gratitudes is up to you. But for me, because I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 1999, I am so thankful every day that I get a new day and I get to move and see and hold my pee because that's a reality for me that it may not be. And so, really starting with intention every morning. I mean, how many of us, the alarm goes off, you hit snooze three times, then you're behind, then the kids are screaming, you're trying to get them out the door. Your husband is asking for 17 things while you're dealing with a kid who's having anxiety issues. And you're just like, oh my God, I can't do this. So getting up even just 15 minutes early, 5 minutes early before the day unfolds and everybody wants a piece of mama, that is precious time to be protected. It allows you to pour into you. It allows you to have grace with yourself. It allows you to just breathe before the horses are unleashed, before they're let out of the barn, because we can't control what's going on around us, but we have so much autonomy over what's going on inside of us. And I think that's something that we lose sight of.
Yeah. Yeah. It actually feels like, well, you're saying we forget about it, but it kind of gets buried, right? Under that sort of decision, because it doesn't feel like we actually have autonomy over all
Yes.
of those things. It doesn't
Yes.
feel like that. What it feels like is decision fatigue over all of the things. And now we get to this point where just the thought of elongating the day when we're dropping in bed and exhausted. And you said, though, when you showed my planner, but
Uh-huh.
you said that it's in our calendar, that piece that we need.
Mhm.
And how do you use the plan your the calendar to reduce the mental load? What are you saying in that?
So, a lot of people, I had a client years ago, one of my very first clients, and she said, I don't want to live a regimented, strict life like you. I just want to be free. She was the most stressed out, disorganized, wasting energy person I have ever met. God bless her.
Mm,
It was looking at her life, sure, it was free, but it was so disorganized. And James Clear in Atomic Habits, highly recommend that book. It is a Bible to me. He talks about having structure in your day doesn't mean legislating the fun and having every single moment accounted for, but having structure in your day is actually freedom. Knowing what time you're going to get up, knowing what you're going to do first thing when you get up, knowing when you're going to exercise each day or each week, I should say. Don't exercise every day. I mean, move, but don't. Anyway, that's another story. That's another conversation. Have intention what you're going to do that day. Understand your worth and how important it is, and that takes some settling down. So when we stop focusing on the emotions, Leon, and we start just focusing on how am I spending my time every day? How much am I scrolling? How much time am I spending worrying? How much time am I getting angry for things that are beyond my control? How much time am I spending on eating? Is it just an afterthought? And I don't eat until 2 in the afternoon and I'm ravenous and I'm grabbing everything within arm's reach. I mean, so when we have even a loose plan, like I use my calendar, and this is what I love about your calendar because it's the intentionality. You do not need to spend hours organizing your day. Where you start for 3 days or one day, do a time audit. See where your energy is spent every day. The minimum I recommend is one day during the week, like a work week, and one day on the weekend. See how you're spending your time. See how you're spending it physically, mentally, and emotionally. When are you going to bed? I mean, if you don't want to do those things, okay, you don't have to. That's totally cool. But what do you have to lose trying? What do you have to lose looking at your life and seeing what you're doing? Is it scary? Yes. Yes, because you're gonna have to face like, oh damn, I spent 4 hours playing Candy Crush. Oh dang, I was so angry about that thing that happened in the news that I have absolutely no control over and I can't do anything about. But meanwhile, I'm ignoring the things within my realm of control or influence. So when we start to look at our lives, it's not belittling, it's not shameful, it's empowering. When we start to see how we spend our time every day, we realize like, wow, I didn't realize I was spending so much time on XYZ. What else could I do? What am I always complaining that I never have time enough to do? What could I do instead? Yeah, I love my breakfast and Wordle. I That is sacred space to me. My breakfast is my time, 6:30 to 7 before I take my daughter to school and she's driving soon. She's getting her car tomorrow, so that's going to be off my plate. But having that time, that precious time whenever maybe it's once the kids walk out the door. Maybe it's 15 minutes before your husband comes home from work. Whatever that time is, find it to serve you. Go outside, get a breath of fresh air, make yourself a cup of tea, whatever it is. It's not dumb. It's not dumb at all. It's intentional. And Oprah's been talking about living in intention forever since the 80s. And I never got it. until now. But I like my lazy sleep-ins on the weekends and cozying up with a book or going for a long walk, when the weather's not 170 degrees here in Texas. And all these things. And it's because when we have these structured pillars, I call them pillars of health, in our day, it makes everything else. That's what a pillar, you have rushing water, those pillars are immovable. Now, when my son had a brain tumor, years ago, I had to drop everything and go to Austin for a week. And what I grabbed was my daughter and my workout clothes and clean unders. And that was it because I knew I needed to exercise while I was away because I needed stress relief. I knew that this had to be, and I did. I worked at the hotel at a great gym and I worked out every morning. And it kept me sane. Those pillars we have, those things that we can rely on as human beings, we like predictability, even though we are hardwired to be on the defense. So the more we can create predictability without trying to over control in our lives, the more calm we're going to be, the lower our cortisol, the easier to lose weight, and the easier to enjoy life. That was a lot.
It was a lot. It was a lot true. And it was a really nice picture into how you make all of this work. So for a woman who is still living in the overwhelm on the couch, one thing I hear when you're talking is you're very matter of fact about this vessel.
Yeah.
And I think it's a different sound than most of us get to hear. It's that sort of you can do it, and you're kind of what I'm hearing from you is you better do it. It's like, and I
No.
love, no, but not in a shameful, no, in a like, that's what my heart hears. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
this is yours. This is all you got. You have a choice. And
Hmm.
I kind of love that. And so, um, we have a few members, on the Zoom with us right now. But before we go off of Facebook, I want to ask you one more question, and
Yeah.
then I want to give you the opportunity to say whatever to whoever on Facebook before we go off for a private conversation.
Okay.
Um, so a lot of the women in our community are real achievers. They're working hard to, find that sort of alignment of who they are. And a lot of times diets like Weight Watchers, there's rules, there's and it feels like a second job.
Yeah.
And what you're offering is something very different.
Hmm.
How does the mentality of a fueling lifestyle release that pressure and kind of say more about that?
So, like you said, there's so many diets out there. I did do Weight Watchers back in the day, and it taught me how to have a healthy relationship with food. But other than that, I've never done a diet because diets are restrictive. They're generally unsustainable. They are riddled with guilt and regret because, oh, I didn't get to eat that and I didn't get to eat this. I had a client start with me in October, mid-October. She's lost 16 pounds, y'all. We
Mm,
haven't even started talking about what she eats really. We talk about being mindful. She's focusing on getting calm. She's focusing on getting calm throughout her day. She's focusing on prioritizing her health and when she's going to bed and how much she's moving. We haven't even talked about food exactly. We're moving into that phase now. But she's lost 16 pounds, and I mean solid pounds. I don't mean water weight. And guess what? She's hardly changed anything. She still went to all the Christmas parties. She said, "What am I crazy joining right before October?" No, ladies, it's not about restricting. It's about having an amazing relationship with food, with not with food, with yourself.
mm,
Your number one relationship in your life is not with your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your spouse. Your number one relationship is with you. How's that working out for you, as Dr. Phil would say? Would you dump you, given the chance? Or would you be with her forever? But here's the thing, we can't get rid of us. We are with us all the time. So when we start to really celebrate our bodies, our gifts, our talents, our blessings, all those good things. Really getting calm about it, getting really clear about it. And it comes from daily actions, which sounds very masculine energy, but it's just taking that time where you can unleash the feminine. You can have some time for yourself. You can create in yourself this world where you're a-okay, where you don't have to prove anything to anyone, where you want to be healthy and vibrant because that sounds like a really great way to live and get past all those negating thoughts, which is what we've been working on since mid October. And she said to me, this is the first time in my life, and she's 61 years old, that I actually think this is going to work. And she keeps saying, I can't wait I can't wait for this to start. And I was like, darling, you're already on the road. You've lost 16 pounds. And she doesn't even realize it. And so I just keep reminding her, no, you're doing it. Because it doesn't feel like she's doing anything because hardly anything has changed except for her mindset. And that is huge. And it can't be taught in one interview, unfortunately. But just know that your future, your experience of life is not based on what's out there. It's about everything that's going on in here and in here. And that is liberating. That is empowering. And I'm so excited for everyone hearing this message because I want you to feel lit up and feel like, yes, yes, 1,000 times, yes, I can deal with my brain and those negating thoughts. Absolutely. And so that's my message. Your best health is closer than you think. It's just on the other side of that head telling you, I'm just going to fail again because I'm here to say, no, you won't. No, you won't. I make sure of that.
I love that. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here on the Wonder Mama Coffee Chat live on Facebook.
My pleasure.
And everyone who is listening live on Facebook, if you want to be part of the intimate conversations, let me know and I will send you the link to join the membership. But to allow people to have free, open conversations, we're going to take it on the inside. So I will see you next week. We have a wonderful new coach coming. Anne, I'm not going to butcher her last name because I need her to say it, but she is an artist. She is powerful. She's an international art enthusiast, and she is all about teaching us creativity and women empowerment. So it's going to be a great conversation. And so now we will see you all next week. And let's see, hold on.